Hello, welcome. So if you are on live, either on Facebook or Instagram, I left a note on the Facebook page, so if you could take a moment to read that. And then definitely, if you get a chance, either before or after the session, if you could just leave a quick hello, just so I know that you were there. It's weird talking into the void, and there's no reason to do it if no one is there. So it's nice afterwards when I know that people are there. Sometimes it says like 50 views, but I don't actually think 50 people are actually watching and doing it. So by request today, we'll be focusing on sort of legs, hips, glutes. We'll be doing more Pilates, less yoga. So we'll be doing what's called the sidekick series in Pilates, which I don't always do, but that is something we will do today. We'll also probably do a fair number of planks. So while people are joining, I just wanted to show something in plank. I describe this as an intermediate class, and that isn't to say that I do not want people who are beginner. You can certainly do this as a more beginner practitioner. My concern is always just people being healthy and being safe and not hurting themselves. So when we are in plank, if you have wrist issues, you can come down onto your arms. Sometimes it makes the moves more challenging and you can't do some of the moves when you're on your forearms, and that's fine, you would just hold it, okay? If you're on your hands, on your wrists, and you're in full plank, we want to look like this. If you stick your butt up in the air, it doesn't really do as much. And if you drop your hips, you put a lot of pressure on your back and you're not actually building core strength. So you're going to want to pull your belly button towards your spine, contract your gluteal muscles, and stay parallel to the floor. As we do this, if you get tired, the best thing to do is to drop your knees. It is way better to work from here than to work from here, okay? So really avoid that position. The same thing can be said when we're on our sides. We'll transition to side plank. You could modify that on your knee. And that means, see how you're nice and lifted through here. It's a long line of our spine. That's the shape we want to be in. If you're in full plank, you could have your feet stacked, which is harder, or one in front of the other, which is a tiny bit easier. But you still want to keep your hips up. If you start dropping down here, it's gonna, I don't even want to do it because it's really will hurt your shoulder, okay? So really work to your level. What happens then is you build the strength, and then one day you're able to do the full versions of the exercises. If you kind of cheat and you drop your hips and you do a not as safe version of the posture or of the move of the exercise, then you're very likely to hurt yourself, and you're not ever going to get to the point where you can do it well. So it's like if you got on a diving board the first time, you wouldn't do like some triple crazy backflip pike, you would just dive, right? So let's work on that. Okay, so if you happen to have a yoga block or something similar, we may have an opportunity for this. If you have a ball, you may have an opportunity for that, but they are never required, so if you don't have it, not a big deal. Okay, so let's come down onto our backs. Lower yourself all the way down onto the mat. Give yourself a little hug here. So we will come to this posture a lot. It releases the low back. So you shouldn't be using your low back most of the time, but if you are, this helps just release it. So it's a good place to rest. Give yourself a stretch. Reach your arms above your head. Reach your legs low. Flex your feet and press your heels away. Reach your arms away. Take a deep inhale. And open your mouth and let it go. And just release. Good. Bring those arms down by your side. Roll the shoulders into the mat. Bring your feet up. So from here, thighs are parallel, shins are parallel, feet are parallel. So knees not knocking together, knees not opening out wide. All right? From here, pull the belly button in. Anytime we do any exercises that have the legs up in the air, you're going to be using your abdominal muscles. As you lower those legs down, the back will sometimes arch. Hopefully you can see that. That's going to hurt your back, not work your abs. At any point, if your back comes off the mat, pull the belly button in, try to press it down. And if you can't, bring the legs up, whether it's one leg or two legs, or if it's a knee, whatever it is, okay? That's again going to keep you safe. I'd rather you do a version with knees bent close to your body, working your abs back on the floor, than have your legs here and be in some terrible position. All right, are we together? Get those feet on the floor. This is a good option if you want to put a ball or a block, something light. Please don't put a big weight or a big heavy book. I don't want it to fall on your toes. But if you wanted to put something light between your knees, what it does is it just makes you engage and squeeze in, and that works our inner thighs. Totally optional. Palms on the mat, shoulders down and back. Imagine that soft piece of fruit between your chin and your chest. And I want you to inhale, begin lifting the hips, lifting the pelvis, lifting the low back, coming to shoulders. Exhale, lower the upper back, the middle back. We're pulling the belly button in. Imagine coming down one vertebra at a time. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, pull the belly button in, lower back down. So typically in Pilates, we actually exhale through our lips. So since we'll be doing more Pilates exercises today, if you want to work on that, it's a really great way to tone, not really tone, it's to build the strength of the muscles that are underneath these superficial obliques, I meant to say. Underneath we have the multifidi, and they connect to the spine, and one of the only ways to get to them is that exhaling through pursed lips. So that's a good thing to practice today if you want. Inhaling. And the transversus abdominis as well. Exhaling. This time, inhale to lift up and hold. Reach the arms overhead and just stretch those arms up. Press the hips high to the sky. Good. Lower those arms back down. And now, notice we're up really, really high. We're squeezing our glutes. And from here, I just want you to pulse a little bit higher. If you have something between your knees, keep squeezing it. If you don't, keep squeezing to keep those legs parallel so that your knees don't flop open. Imagine you have something. So your knees won't touch. They'll be separated, but they're engaged. So you're not dropping low. You're staying lifted, and you're just pulsing up, up, up. If you'd like, you can come up onto the balls of your feet. It lifts you a little bit higher, works a different part of the gluteal muscles. Also gets the calves going. Keep pulsing, pulsing, pulsing. I want you to kind of note what this feels like. This amount of movement, this little teeny pulse, not a big movement, shouldn't be arching the back dramatically, because we're going to do this with one leg, and I don't want you to lose this basic shape. Go ahead and lower all the way down. If you have anything between your legs, take it out. You won't need that for this next one. Give yourself a little hug, a little rock. I'm going to give you 3 options on this. You do not need to go to each level. I'm going to start at level 1. You could stay there. I will take you to level 2 if you want. You could stay there. And I will give you option for level 3 if you want, okay? Feel free to stay back at level 1 if that's where you should be. So palms on the mat, pulling that belly button in, pressing the back into the mat. Inhale to lift back up right where we were. Press those shoulders into the mat. So we're going to do the same pulsing, but I want you to come up on one of your the balls of your foot. Doesn't matter which one. So your heel is in the air, and you're going to keep lifting. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Good. So again, it's just a tiny little movement. If this is enough for you, stay right where you are. If you'd like to add to this, bring that knee up, knee over hips, and keep pulsing. It's like you're trying to push that knee to the ceiling. Good. If that's easy and you want an even harder challenge, extend the leg, and now it's like you're pushing the toe to the ceiling. But again, notice I'm not dropping down low. I'm lifting up, up, up. The hips are stable, the leg is stable, nothing is moving. Good. If the leg is straight or if the leg is bent, I want you to lower it down. If it's bent, the toe taps the mat. If not, the leg just hovers at the knee and kick it back up. Lower it down and back up and down. Good. 2 more times. Good, and bring it all the way down, press it into the mat, keep those hips lifted, lift up on the opposite ball of the foot so your heel is in the air. And we're gonna pulse, 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 tiny movements. Now, whatever you did on the first side, I encourage you to do on the second side. Good, so you could bring the knee up, keep pulsing, pressing the knee towards the ceiling, shin is parallel to the floor. And again, if you want a further challenge, extend that leg as straight as you possibly can, reaching the toes up, up, up. Good. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Again, if the knee's bent, it would look like this. It taps down and up. Otherwise, leg is straight. I'm just showing the other option. I found as a teacher, I can only do one option at a time. So you pick and stick with that option. You don't always have to be doing what I'm doing. And lower all the way down. Lower the hips to the mat. Good. Separate your feet mat's distance apart and just swish. Windshield wiper side to side. Also, as a teacher, I have to talk. So I can't always do the breath. But that doesn't mean you stop inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the lips if you want to practice that Pilates breath. Or you could do a yoga breath through your nose. Good, come back to center. Okay, pulling that belly button in. Lift those legs up to tabletop. Okay, so notice here, my legs are pretty close to my chest here. My back is pressed into the mat, not a big challenge. Push those knees away from your body till you start feeling your abs have to work to hold them there, all right? Find that challenging point. I need to move my ball out of the way. All right, we're gonna do twists. I like to cactus my arms for this, but decide what's comfortable for your arms. It doesn't matter what your arms are doing. We're gonna drop the knees down to one side and then lift them up, keeping the legs together over to the other side. So you're using your core. It's easy to arch your back here. So really see, my block was in my way. Really see if you can keep that back in contact with the mat through center, over to the other side. Nice and slow. We don't want to be using momentum here. Exhaling as you twist. Inhaling to center. Good. Finishing on the opposite side from where you started. And come to center. All right, we're going to do the leg stretch series, the Pilates leg stretch series. Starting with the right leg in. This is one of those ones that if the back starts to arch, it means your legs are too low. I want you to bring the legs up higher, pull the belly button in. Always imagine a soft piece of fruit between your chin and your chest. So it's not pressed down, but you're not tilting your head towards the ceiling, okay? Right hand on right ankle. Left hand below, not on the right knee, it's on the shin. Extend the left leg up. Straight up will be easier. You decide how low you need to go. It's your call. I can't see you. Lift your head, lift your shoulders. Inhale, squeeze that right leg in. Exhale, switch. Inhale. Inhale. You're keeping absolutely steady through your abs and through your hips. I often say it's like you're balancing a glass of champagne there, or maybe a hot cup of coffee. You don't want it to spill. Obviously, your knees would knock it over. Keep your belly stable, keep your hips stable. Nothing moves. Your hands, your arms barely move. Your knees are coming to it. For 3, 2, 1. Finish on the opposite side from where you started. Then draw that right knee in. Tuck into a little ball. Take an inhale. Let it go. Next time you inhale, easier version. Everything is straight up in the air. More challenging, arms are up straight, but legs come further out. You decide. Inhale. Don't let that back arch. Again, you're not doing yourself any favors by bringing those legs out and arching your back, because you're not actually working your abdominal muscles. You're just going to hurt your back. So instead, bring those legs more straight up in the air. For 3, for 2, last one, and lower that down. Give yourself a rock and a rest. Good, single straight leg stretch. Right leg comes straight up. I really thought I put my computer on silent. Sorry. Right leg straight up in the air. Left leg in front of it like scissors. Grabbing hold behind your calf or your thigh not your knee, please. Lift up head and shoulders. Lower that left leg as low as you want to go to challenge yourself. Inhale. Exhale, switch. So it's not kicking, right? We're nice and controlled. Inhale. Exhale, switch. Inhale. And 3. And 2. Last one. Good. Bring both legs up. Bring the hands behind the head. This is harder. Head on the floor. Sitting on top of your hands is the modification. You decide what's best for you. Flexing your feet as you inhale. Elbows stay wide if they're behind your head. And exhale, bring it back up. I think I said exhale twice. Inhale as you lower down. Exhale as you pull back up. Inhale, lower. So again, you can go as low as you want. You won't go anywhere near the floor. We don't want to arch our back. And 2. Last one. Good. Hug those knees in. And give yourself a little hug. And we're going to rock. Rocking up, coming to balance. Pull the belly button in. Tuck the chin, roll the shoulder blades without rolling onto your back or onto your neck or onto your head. Good. And come on up. Excellent. Sitting up nice and tall. Bend your left leg in, or your right leg rather. It doesn't matter. We're going to do both sides. I usually do opposite on this one. Dropping that knee down towards the floor. Extend the leg, toe up towards the ceiling. Facing towards our feet, we're going to inhale as we stretch up, exhale as we fold over. Just stretching open that hip because we're going to be working on that. If you want, reach across the body, grabbing the calf, the ankle, or the foot. Be gentle on this one. I often feel it in my knee, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but just be aware, don't overdo it. Be gentle to yourself. Come back up, coming to the other side, extend the opposite leg, bring that foot in, square yourself off, inhale, exhale, fold over. Just hold there for a moment. I'm going to make this computer stop making noises. Okay. Same thing, you can reach across the body. Good, bring yourself up, extend both legs out. Inhale, extend those arms up. Exhale to release down. Take a couple of breaths. Holding there, let the back go. This is a good time to breathe through your nose whenever we're stretching and holding and releasing. It slows your heart rate. Good, come on up. All right, coming onto hands and knees. So just like when we were on our back, how we wanted our back pressed against the mat, it's the same concept when you're on hands and knees, or like I was showing you in plank. So for a moment, come to hands and knees. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips, and we're pulling our belly button in. So notice right now I'm more or less in a flat back position. As we inhale, the pelvis drops down, chest lifts for cow. As we exhale, the pelvis pulls under, back arches, head drops for cat. Good. Inhaling and exhaling. Couple more times. Working through that spine. I know we almost always do this. It's because it's super important to keep that spine moving. I don't care if you're 8 or 88. You need to have a healthy spine. Good. And bring that back to flat back. Okay, so now I want you to keep that neutral spine, which means you're pulling your belly button in. You have to engage your abdominals to support your spine here, so that's why we do it. Extend the right leg straight behind you. Your option here, if you want to challenge yourself further, is to extend the opposite arm. You decide. If that doesn't work for you, if it's too much pressure on your knee, go ahead and put the leg down, or the arm down. And then I want you to tap and lift the extended leg. We're going to be doing a lot of this sort of thing today, this tapping and lifting of the leg in different positions. And any of them, it's not a kick, it's not a swing, and notice that my back hasn't changed. The curve of my back is not changing. If I kick the leg way up, that messes up the integrity of my spine, which we don't want to do. So just lift it to hip height. Good. Bring that knee in, but let it hover. I should turn so you can see me better. Let it hover over the mat, and we're going to open it out. Lifting that leg out to the side so the knee is bent. We're lifting up and lowering. Good. Once you get the hang of the move, you should be looking right down at the mat. That puts your neck in neutral. And now I want you to lift the leg up as high as you can, and then pulse. Lift, lift, lift. Little tiny movement. Notice if you're tilting over to the other side, and see if you can keep yourself more or less not tilted. Imagine once again that glass on your back. Lift up and hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Come down onto your forearms. That same leg is lifted up in the air, but now we're on our forearms. Belly button is pulled in. So our back is at an angle right now, okay? We're not dropping and arching it, but it's not really parallel to the floor anymore. It's at an angle. Our knee is bent, our foot is flexed, and I want you to push that foot up to the ceiling. So this one is more of a kick. It's a little punch. But again, if you look at my back, I'm not changing the integrity of my spine. I'm not arching my back with this kick. As soon as you start arching your back, you're working your low back and your glutes are getting a break, and I want you to be working right here. This one targets your gluteus minimus. Kick, 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 kick. I may or may not have actually remembered to count this. Apologies for that. Let's do 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And lower that down. And then just sit off to the side. Stretch one side. Sit off to the other side. Good. Come back to center. Come back to hands and knees. Belly button pulls in. Turn back around so you can see my leg that I want you to see. So this time extend the other leg. For me it's the left leg. Make sure you do the opposite leg. Option to extend the arm if you want. Totally not a requirement. We're going to tap down and lift. Tap down and lift. So that extended leg, we're trying to keep it as straight as possible. It might not be completely straight, but pretty straight. And we're not kicking up in the air. We're not arching our back. Nice and stable. Balancing a lovely glass of rosé to have after our practice. By ourselves if we're me. Hashtag social isolation. Good. And then we're going to bend that knee, bring it down, and lift up. 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 Good. Opening up. Hitting the side hip. So I had a request to target this sort of problem area for some people. It's important to keep it strong. And sometimes for women it's an area that they want to burn some fat, so we're going to work on both of those things. And then lift it up and hold it, and lift and pulse. Pulse, 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 lift. It's a tiny movement now. Think about lifting through your knee. Your whole leg will follow, keeping knee and ankle in line with one another. Good. Keep the leg lifted as you come down onto forearms. Bring that leg behind you. Keep pulling your belly button in. This is still ab work. Even though we're working glutes, we're actually working abs too. Knee is bent, foot is flexed, and it's kick. Kick. These are sometimes called donkey kicks. I don't know. I used to live in a village with a lot of donkeys, and I don't really like to think about the donkey kicks so much, but if you like thinking of a donkey kick, think of it. They are very powerful kicks, so if that helps you, go for it. The female donkeys used to do this to the male donkeys. So there's that image for you. Press up and kick, kick, kick. You could be exhaling at each punch, or you could be taking long breaths. You decide, just don't hold the breath, right? Let's do 10 more. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Sit off to one side, stretching that hip. Sit off to the other side. And then just come to the center and chill for a couple of breaths in child's pose. Hips, breathe into the back. All right, coming out into our first plank. So, hands under shoulders, your option. So from our all fours, everyone should try lifting up onto toes. But then if you're going to do the modification, that's totally fine. From right where you are, drop your knees. And now you'll notice that you're at an angle, okay? So you're no longer knees under hips, which is where you want to be. Try not to lock your elbows. My elbow's hyperextend, so sometimes you'll catch me with them locked. But you want to kind of release that hyperextension, and you want to turn your elbows towards one another. I'm going to come up to the full plank. Good, so we're going to hold this. And like I said, we've got a few plank things we're going to do today. And we fully decided if we're going to do push-ups because we are focusing on legs. All right, we're going to transition to our first side plank. In fact, let's everyone drop one knee down, whichever one you want, and pivot so you're in this modified side plank. If you want to do this on your forearm, that's absolutely fine. You can extend this arm if you want, pressing up through the hips. The reason I wanted you on your knee is because I want everyone to lift up that top leg. Good, and now we're going to do leg lifts here. Lift up, up, up. Good. So it's like you're just trying to lift just past the hip. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it. Good. Bring that leg behind you and catch your ankle. Kick the ankle away so you're getting a little bit of a back bend, and you're also stretching that front of your hip flexor. Good. Extend that leg again. Bring it around. Come back to either your modified or your full plank position. And that leg that you were just lifting up, your top leg, lift that one up here. And same thing, let's pulse it. So you're never bringing it completely back in contact with the earth. If you're on your knees here, just hold that plank. That's enough for you. And let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, put that knee down. My back's going to be to you. I'm just going to stay this orientation. Bring yourself over. Once again, our modified plank. Lifting that arm up in the air. Lifting the leg up in the air. And we're going to pulse. Pulse. So for this one, like we stay lifted and we're just lifting past it. We're not going all the way to the floor and lowering it. It's just a tiny pulse up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend that knee, catch the ankle, press that away, opening up the right hip flexor. Good, bring it back, place it on the floor, come back around to your modified plank or your full plank, and then lift that same leg up in the air. And now we're going to lower to the floor and back to the hip. Floor and hip. Again, we're keeping the integrity of the spine. So my back isn't arching here. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place that foot down, press yourself up, downward facing dog. Press one heel into the mat, press the other heel into the mat. Press both heels into the mat and come back to a nose breathing. So you're inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your nose. If down dog isn't appropriate, come to all fours, or if you need a break, come to child's pose. Separate your feet about the distance of the mat if you're in down dog. Bend your knees towards the mat, lower your chest towards your knees, and then press everything back up. So it's a deep squat to the mat, and press back up. Deep squat, and extend. Good, lower down, and extend. Last one. Walk those feet back together. Think of rolling the shoulders away from the ears. We don't want to hurt our shoulders. Engage in the back, not locking out the elbows. Good, walk the feet to the hands. Let yourself hang over, let the head go. So go ahead and bend your knees here so that your spine can be more rounded. Let your head drop. And from here, straighten your legs. And then bend those knees deeply again. Straighten your legs, and bend, and straighten. Stay straight for a moment, grabbing hold of your ankles, your foot, wherever you can, maybe your toes. If your hands on your calves, that's fine. Pulling the crown of your head down. And then release, bend your knees really slowly, because we've been hanging down here for a moment, really slowly. Roll yourself up, straightening your legs as you come part way up, restacking each vertebra till you come up, head and shoulders. Inhale, extend those arms upwards. Exhale, bring the hands behind your back. Find your hands in your hips, either wrapping around your hips or fingertips pointing up is fine. Contract your gluteal muscles, contract your quadricep muscles, and press the hips forward as you pull your elbows together, opening your chest towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath. Keep squeezing your glutes, keep squeezing your thighs. Good, and bring yourself up to vertical. Okay, so just like when we are on our backs, just like when we are on our hands and knees, and just like when we are in planks, we want that same shape of our spine here. We all have a tendency, not all, a lot of people have a tendency to do this, women more commonly than men. Looks real cute, right? But it's not great on our back. I don't care how big and beautiful your butt is. It's this arch that I'm concerned about. So your butt may be out here, but that doesn't mean that you can't pull your hips and your pelvis under, okay, to protect that spine. Pull the belly button in, roll the shoulders down and back. And again, without sticking the chest out, arching the back, puts a lot of pressure here. Pull the rib cage in. It's almost like you're zipping up your ribs, okay? Let's do a couple sun salutations. Inhale, extend those arms up overhead, and as you exhale, just draw them to your heart. Shoulders down and back. Belly engaged, pulling the belly button towards the spine. Chin towards chest, so we're not sticking out here. Nostril breathing, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Next time you inhale, extending the arms up. As you exhale, hinge forward. As you inhale, flat back comes up. As you exhale, placing the hands on the mat, stepping the right foot back, right knee drops to the mat. Inhale, opening up, pressing forward, opening that hip flexor. Good. Bring the hands to the mat. We're going to come to plank and hold it. So you can come to knee or you can come to toes. We're going to hold it here. I want you to give me one push-up. So squeezing your elbows by your side, lower all the way down from toes or from knees, and press back up. Good. Belly button in. Transitioning to our side plank. You can either be on your knee, or if you want to come to a full side plank this time, you can, but I'm going to add a challenge to this. So arm extends from knee or from here where I am on your foot. We're going to bring our elbow to our knee and extend. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Come back to your plank, this time coming all the way down to the mat. Inhale, coming up into Sphinx. So our forearms are resting on the mat. Chest is lifted. Squeezing our gluteal muscles. We're going to kick our glute 3 times. It's an inhale and an exhale, 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 inhale. Staying stable, exhale, 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 inhale. Mouth breathing if you can. Last one. Release that all the way down. Slide the hands right under the shoulders. Push yourself all the way up and back to your downward facing dog. Extend the right leg up. Drop the right foot towards the opposite side. Opening up through the hip. Good, bring that leg back, swing it all the way forward, step the left leg forward, forward fold. Inhale to rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, extend up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, belly button to the spine. Exhale, fold. Left foot steps back, releasing that left knee onto the mat. Inhale, opening up, chest lifts, driving forward, opening the left hip flexor. Hands to the mat, stepping the right foot back. Remember, we're holding plank. You can be on your knees here, or you can be on your toes. Transitioning to a side plank. I'm going to demonstrate this on my knee in case you guys wanted to do it from your knee, but otherwise, if you did it on your toe last time, do it from your foot. And then we bring that knee in for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Good. Transitioning over to that plank, full plank or modified plank. One push-up, we lower it down, we press back up. This time lower all the way down to the mat. Double leg kick, it's a little bit complicated. It's not that it's hard, it's just complicated. So watch and listen. Bring your hands behind your back. Turn your head, hopefully so you can see me. So one ear and one cheek are on the floor. Bring your hands clasped up to the highest point that you can in your back and let your elbows drop down. Squeeze your legs together. They're one entity. It's 3 kicks. Inhale, 3 kicks with both legs. On the inhale, your feet come to the mat, your chest lifts, arms pull back. Turn your head to the other side, bring those hands back up, 3 kicks. Inhale, feet to the mat, lifting up, arms pull away, turn your head back to the first side, arms up to the middle of your back, 3 kicks, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, lift, Superwoman, Superman, bring your head to the other side, 3 kicks. Last time, both sides, 3 kicks. Inhale, feet come to the mat. Last time, 3 kicks. Good. Bring your hands right underneath your shoulders. Curl your toes under, push yourself up and back. Coming to your downward facing dog. Extend that left leg, bend the left knee, dropping it to the other side. Opening the hips on this side. Good. Bring that leg back to center. Swing it all the way through. Place the other foot next to it. Let your head hang over and rise all the way up. Inhale. Exhale to heart center. Good. Inhale, extend up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands to the mat to stabilize yourself. Let your right foot come all the way back, and then come up into a high lunge position. Knee over ankle. Push that back foot away so you lengthen that leg. Hands at heart to stabilize. Don't worry about your front leg. I want you to think about bending your back knee and dropping it to the mat for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. So your front leg moves, but I want you to focus on your back leg. That's 2, because then you tend to not go over your knee in the front, which is what we want. We don't want to go over our toes. Sometimes the body parts are a problem for me. Bring the hands to the mat. Runner's lunge, pushing back through that right heel. I get tongue-tied. Keep the right hand on the mat, and you're going to twist to your left. Extend that left arm. Deep breath. Good. Bring that hand to the mat. Step the feet back, plank. 1 push-up. Elbows hug the rib cage. Press yourself back up. Now we're going to come to the side series. So you're going to come all the way down to the mat. You're going to line yourself up along the back edge of the mat. You have 3 head positions. Your first option is to be all the way down on your arm like so. That's totally fine. Your second option is to be up here on your elbow. Also totally fine. Hardest option is lifted here on your forearm. What tends to happen here is this. Our ribs drop, it puts your spine in a terrible position, and puts pressure on your shoulder. I don't want you to do that. So if you want to stay here, stay lifted. Otherwise, come to your elbow. If you had a ball or potentially a pillow, you could also use that to help support. Okay, so you're along the back edge of your mat. I want you to lift both feet together to the front corner of the mat. Another opportunity for the ball is to have it here in front of you, rest your hand on it, and try not to smash it into a pancake. Just light touch. Turn your heels together, your toes apart, and lift your bottom heel a micromillimeter, your top heel off your bottom heel, but not up here, just a little lift. squeeze. Lift if you're here, otherwise you're on the mat, that's fine too. We're gonna lift that leg up and lower. You can point up and flex to lower if you want. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, lower down. Good, this time we're gonna draw the toe in and then extend and then press down. Draw the toe up and in, extend and lower down. Good, the toe just drags up the leg, extends and lowers. 4, 3, 2, stay lifted if you're here, last one. Good, let those legs hover, heel over heel, tiny circles. So the whole leg moves, you brush your foot each time, but the little circles. 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse direction. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, hover. We're going to kick forward and back without moving our torso. So it's not a big move. Kick forward and back for 3, for 2, last one, and to center and release it down. Good. Bring that knee up, give yourself a hug in the chest, and then place that foot on the floor. Lift your bottom leg as much as you can and pulse it up, 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 up. Lift up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. If you used a ball, move it out of the way. Roll yourself onto the mat, hands right underneath your shoulders. Push yourself up and back, coming to downward facing dog. Take a deep breath here. Good, swing that right leg up. Swing it all the way forward, coming to a high lunge on this side. Once again, hands to your heart, pushing away with that heel. We're going to twist, bringing that elbow either to the top of your thigh or locking it against your thigh on the right side. So right knee is in front, left elbow is locked against it. Hands are at the heart, not up in your armpit. And you're looking to the ceiling. Good. Turning back, staying nice and low. Step that opposite foot up, coming to chair, Utkatasana. Sitting nice and low, knees over ankles. Chest lifted as much as you can, belly button in. Good, forward fold. Halfway up on the inhale. Exhale, release. This time stepping the left foot back. So just where we just were, hands to heart center, pushing that left heel away, bend in the front knee, and now we're going to dip down and up. 7 and 6, 5, 4. If this is too much, you just stay still, right? 3, 2, last one. Good. Bring the hands to the mat. Step the right foot back, plank or modified plank. 1 push-up, elbows hug the ribs. Press up, coming to the other side. I need to see you guys, so I need to flip all the way over. Okay, so same thing. The first step is to line yourself up along the long edge of your mat. Pick your position. Down here is best if you have neck issues at all. I usually do it from here. This is my favorite position. But for the sake of proving that it can be done, I'm doing it up on my forearm. Stay lifted through here. Then lift those feet to the front corner of your mat so you're at an angle. I'm not going to get the ball, but you can put your ball here so that you're not pushing down too hard. Light support with this hand. Turn your heels together, toes apart. Little micro gap between the two. And we're going to lift up and lower. For 7, for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hover, don't let it tap down, and make circles. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse direction. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it hover. Kick forward and back. So just like we were doing before, we don't want a terrible arch in our spine, so the leg doesn't go too far back. 4, 3, 2, last one. Good, bring it here, hug the knee in, plant the foot down, lift that bottom leg, and pulse, 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 pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, I forgot something. We have to go back. We have to be even. Extend the top leg. We're going to drag that foot up the leg and extend. The problem with not having students in front of me is anytime you forget something in a live class, someone reminds you. I don't have that right now. So I know some of the YouTube videos I've gone back and watched. I'm like, oh, I forgot to do that on the other side. Sorry. I do this in one take. This is not the magic of Hollywood. That's 7, I think. And that's 8. Good, roll yourself all the way over. Hands under shoulders, curl your toes under, push yourself up to that downward facing dog. Jogging through, bending one knee, bending the other knee. Good. You know what? Let's take a break for a second. Just drop down onto your knees. Come into a child's pose. Okay, ready? Plant the hands, curl the toes under, push yourself up, downward facing dog. Bend one knee, bend the other knee. Swing that left leg up, swing it forward, plant it down, coming up to that high lunge again. Hands at heart center. I'm with my back to you again. I'm going to turn around. I was with my back to you the other side because I was facing the other direction. And then bring that right elbow. It can go, just come here, right on top of your thigh. That's fine. If you want to go lower, that's fine too. I often see the elbows float way the heck up here. See if you can keep them here at heart center. It's our time. Okay. Deep breath. Good. Twisting back to center, staying low, hinging forward. We're going to come to chair, hands at heart center, and then extend them, sitting nice and low. Hips back. Good. Rise up. We're going to do just a couple squats here. So separate your feet a tiny bit wider here. We're going to come down into like a chair version and extend up. Inhale. Make sure your hips are back. Make sure you're on the balls, the heels of your feet, and extend. Inhale, sit. Exhale up. 4, 3, 2. Last one. Hold it down, hold it down, hold it down. Good. Shift your weight. So you put your weight in your right foot. Bring your hands to your heart. Lift up so your left foot is hovering. And then rise all the way up. Bring that left knee up. I'm just going to turn towards you so you can see me. Open that left knee to the side. Option here, if you have the flexibility and you want to, that wasn't very graceful, you can extend that leg. You could counterbalance, you can bring that arm up. You can keep the knee bent, or it can be anywhere in between. Good. If it's extended, bend it. Bring it back to the center, hands down, bend back into that chair with that foot still hovering up. And just so you can see it, it's here. Place that foot down, lift the opposite. So you're balancing in your chair, and then you extend up. Again, I'm just going to turn so you can see me. Open that leg out to the side. And then same option if you want to extend that leg. Again, that knee can just stay bent. I like to give you challenging options. Don't feel like you have to do it. Ooh, don't talk while you're balancing. Bring that foot back in. And bend the knee down, sitting the hips back. Place the foot down so you're nice here in your low chair. Inhale, big extension up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up, flat back, holding here for a moment, focusing for a second. So our knees aren't locked here. We should be getting a nice hamstring stretch without locked knees, and you're looking on the floor in front of you, keeping your spine in neutral. Good. Bend your knees. Bring your hands to the mat. You can hop back or step one foot followed by the other, coming to plank. Coming to knees if you want. We're going to do 5 push-ups, 5. Elbows hugging the ribs is more for your triceps. Sometimes we do them out further. 2. Last 1. Good. Push yourself up and back. Last downward facing dog. Heels towards the mat. Let the head go. Good. Dropping down to knees, spinning those legs out in front of you, extending them out. Big inhale up, exhale, fold, releasing the head down. Good. Coming back up, crossing one leg over the other. So I'm doing right over left, mirror image me. You could do left over right. Sitting it nice and tall, twist towards that leg. Give it a hug or come all the way across. I'm actually just going to hug it today. Bring the back hand behind, opening up that back shoulder. Really pulling that leg, that knee. Again, if you come all the way over, it just gets into that hip a little bit. Sitting up tall, flexing that extended leg. Good. Come back to center, switch. Right leg over left, sit up tall, twist, hugging that knee. Without leaning into the back hand. If you want, coming over if that gets more into the hip. Take some nice deep breaths into this twisted position. Good. Coming back to center, bringing the soles of our feet together. Pressing our elbows or our forearms gently against the inner thighs, seeing if you can use that to help you sit up nice and tall. A lot of your hips are probably more open than mine. That's okay. And then go ahead and fold this forward, let your head drop down. Breathing into it. Roll yourself back up. And bending your knees. Let's extend our arms. One slow decline all the way down. So pull the belly button in, and as slowly as you can go, bring yourself all the way down to the mat. Good. Bring one knee into the chest, extend the other leg away. Squeeze that leg in, roll the ankle a couple of times. Open that leg out to the side, opening the inner thigh. Good. Extend that leg up. Flex the foot, see if you can straighten the leg all the way. And then slowly lower it down, 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 almost to the floor, and then bring it back up. Flex the foot hard, see if you can straighten that leg, and then lower all the way down to the mat. Hug the opposite knee into the body, squeezing the shin, not the knee. Roll that ankle. Good. Open that leg out to the side, opening the inner thigh. I feel like this hour went really fast. Maybe that's just me. Bring the knee back. And extend that leg up. Flex the foot. You crammed a lot in. Lower that leg down, flex the foot, driving it towards the mat, and pull it back up. So this is a pretty intense practice. So if you don't feel like it was intense, wow, you're superhuman. I felt like it was intense. And then lower that leg all the way down. And so if you did feel like it was intense, but it felt like it was too hard, don't be hard on yourself. It was hard. Always remember to modify, always remember to be gentle. It's not about doing every single thing, right? It's about doing what you can do. Stretch your arms up overhead, stretch your legs down below. You are working with what you have. And that's all that matters, that you're trying, that you're being safe, that you're being healthy, and that you're being kind to yourself. Bring both arms down to the mat, palms facing up. Let those shoulders release into the mat. Let the head relax. Take a deep inhale. Open your mouth and let it go. One more time. Let it out. Good. Close your eyes, close your mouth. Let your lips just be parted slightly. Let your breath be nice and slow. Inhaling through the nose, recharging your muscles, Exhaling through the nose, letting go of stress and tension. Energy in, stress out. Relaxation in, tension out. Positive energy in, judgment out. Loving kindness in, negative thoughts out. Just give yourself a moment. Wiggle your fingers and toes and roll your wrists and ankles. Let your head roll from side to side. Draw one knee into the body, draw the other knee into the body. Let yourself rock. You didn't do happy baby before, so if you want to come into a happy baby, sometimes that feels good if you were working in your back at all. And then let yourself roll to your right, both knees to the right, curling yourself over in the fetal position. And then when you're ready, press yourself up, coming to face front, picking a cross-legged position, anyone will do. Tall spine, letting the arms rest in the lap, the hands rest in the lap. Take a moment here to just bring your attention to your breath. Notice your body, your state of mind, your state of awareness. Take a moment to thank yourself. Thank yourself for stepping foot on the mat. Thank yourself for working your mind, your body, your breath. Keeping yourself healthy. Self-love, self-care is always important, but in more trying times, it's more important than ever. Take a deep inhalation and let it go. Let's actually do a lion's breath. So you're actually going to open your eyes, you're going to stick out your tongue, you're going to open your mouth wide, and you're going to hud out. So we'll all look silly, but only I'm the one who can be seen. So take a deep inhale. Inhale. Last one. Doesn't that feel great? Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you so much for sharing your joy and your energy for our practice this evening. Be sure to follow me on all possible formats. I love comments and likes and reviews because it lets me know what I'm doing well and what I need to work on. So I'm not becoming a social media influencer anytime soon. It's not really about that, is it? Namaste. I wish you a wonderful evening and a wonderful